Hello and welcome along to the Lancs TV studio here at Emirates Old Trafford. We're here in the middle of November because it's a very special day when the 2025 men's and women's T20 fixtures have been released. We're going to be joined by some very special guests as we look forward to next season, and it does look like a very exciting one. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it and begin with the men's T20 fixtures. Well, it's a privilege to be joined by our men's first team captain, Keon Jennings. Keon, thank you very much for joining us. It's always an exciting time of the year when these fixtures get released with the Vitality Blast. What's your initial reaction?
Yeah, I look really excited. We obviously started here at home. Got a couple of home games. Obviously, our record here has been fantastic over the last couple of years, and we only lost one game over the last 2 or 3 years. So, look excited. And then we go up to my ex-home ground. Cop a little bit of abuse going back up to an old stomping ground. So, no, look really excited. Obviously, a lot of them are double headers as well, which is exciting. Hopefully, get a packed Emirates Old Trafford.
I'd imagine at this point of the year, at this point of pre-season, there's probably a lot of fitness, a lot of hard work going in. Is it important to be able to look forward to the fixtures and set yourself goals, and maybe players will look at that and think, right, I want to be ready for that game and hit the ground running when it comes?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice little time. You get your phone out and put all the fixtures in, kind of see where you're going to be and at certain times of the year, which is awesome. But like you said, it gives you something to aim for. This morning was bitterly cold. It snowed all of last night, and we were running around the track at 10 o'clock this morning. So, look, definitely it feels like the season is coming, although it still feels miles away, but at least it's something to aim at. And playing cricket and playing in front of full houses is what you want to do. That's why you put in this time now in the winter. It's why you do the hard yards as such. So yeah, that's the fun bit, and it's definitely something to aim for.
We mentioned the back-to-back home matches to begin the season. Thursday, 29th of May against Worcestershire Rapids, then up against Notts Outlaws on the 31st of May. You mentioned also the importance of playing here at Emirates Old Trafford and the record you had last year. You'll be looking to continue that next season.
Oh, absolutely. It's we're very proud of the way we play here. We've got a template of how we want to play, and we've stuck to that very nicely. So look, it's not necessarily just a matter of resting on that history. It's making sure that we continue to make this place really tough to travel to. You have to win your home games in order to get into that knockout phase. We obviously did that, or we have done that historically really well. We obviously want to try and get some silverware back into the cabinet. But getting into a knockout phase is key and critical. And I mean, you saw we had a tough day out against Sussex, and then they had a tough day out at finals day. So look, for us, it's making sure we play 7 really, really good games here, and then we go from there and see what happens.
Yeah, well, how proud are you of that record in the North Group of getting out and constantly putting in good performances? And I'm sure, like you say, you'll be looking to do that once again.
Yeah, absolutely, incredibly proud. I think Lancashire as a place has been historically really good at getting into knockouts, and we've gone into the knockout phase more than any other county, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, we want to convert that into winning some silverware. There's 1 or 2 things we're looking at slightly differently this year, which is exciting. But yeah, look, it's an exciting time. The guys pen down where they want to be, what they want to target. So look, it's a nice time and a time for the lads to try and push their skills as well. It's you've got a lot of time now as a player. When you're at home, it's what, 2, 3 o'clock, and it's nearly dark. So the boys in the indoor centre working hard and trying to push their skill set to try and break into that team, because it is a strong side with. You see the sort of Livy and Joss and the guys that are here, Salty. You got some of the world's best players, arguably some of T20 cricket's best players. So Exciting, and when they're all back, it'll be a tough side to break into.
Yeah, it really will. We've also got the exciting addition of 4 double headers here at Emirates Old Trafford. You'll be playing alongside the women's team. How special is that going to be on a day where the stadium's probably going to be full? Hopefully it's a sunny day, 2 games of cricket and probably 2 wins, hopefully.
Yeah, look, that would be ideal. I mean, makes a really nice day out. You get a huge sort of value for money as a spectator. You get a lovely day out. You come, like you say, the sun will be out. We're going to hold wood for that. But look, it's a fantastic day, and a day that I think families sort of target as well. Days that players sort of really enjoy because you come, there's a nice vibe around the ground, there's loads of people in, and those are the days you want to win. You want to win those games of cricket with packed Emirates Old Trafford, and really enjoy playing and sort of experiencing going out and expressing your skill set.
And I guess another fixture that everyone, especially the players, always look forward to is their Roses T20 battles. 2 in 1 week. We've got the first one Friday the 11th of July, then over at Headingley Thursday 17th of July. Probably will rain all week, no doubt, but how big are those games to look forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. They're huge games. They're both generally packed houses. Cop loads of abuse down Headingley way, which is good. I even copped some abuse playing for London Spirit there this year, which was even more fun. But yeah, look, I mean, it's the game, not necessarily the only game you want to win in the year, but it's a game you really target. It's always feels like it has that edge. It has a feel of being an international fixture. I mean, roads around here are pedestrianised, and it just has a different vibe to it, which is amazing. And I think the more games as a player you play in that, it does give you a different experience in order to hopefully upskill and up-level your sort of own career path. So, look, exciting games. Hopefully, in a 6 or 7 day period, we can come out with 2 big wins and drive away from that side of the country victorious at the end of that week.
Well, thank you very much for joining us and talking about all the fixtures coming up. All the best for your time out in Australia. And speaking of pre-season, one new face that joins us is Michael Jones from Durham, and we caught up with him earlier this week.
How's pre-season? I know it's only a couple of days in, but how's pre-season so far?
Very good, yeah. Webby's got us working hard. Had my first net yesterday, which was cool. So yeah, enjoying it so far.
Is it just, I mean, you see you had your first net, is it mainly fitness, I guess, at this point?
That's right, yeah. There'll be a little bit of cricket stuff in the build-up to Christmas, but I think the bulk of the work that we'll do will be fitness-related, yeah.
And what's it like when you wander in and meet the lads for the first time?
It's cool, yeah. It's nice. To be honest, it's just nice to be here. I mean, I'd signed the contract essentially in the middle of the summer, and so the anticipation was building, I suppose, to get here and meet the lads, introduce myself, and get going with the work, really. So yeah, it's good to be here.
It's a pretty small world, cricket, and certainly domestic cricket in this country, isn't it? So I guess obviously you know these guys anyway, but when you actually go and meet them and introduce yourself proper to them, is it like kind of first day at school type thing?
A little bit, yeah. I suppose you could say that. Yeah, I mean, I've played against these guys numerous times now, so we obviously know of each other, but I haven't had the chance yet to build any sort of real relationship. So it is definitely nice to be sort of settling in and getting those friendships going, I suppose, because we'll spend a lot of time together over the summer, hopefully, and yeah, it's just good to be here and get cracking on, really.
Does it feel a little bit like coming back home?
It does, yeah, it does. I mean, you say that, I'm actually staying with my parents at the moment, so it's very much like coming back home. Yeah, just while I look for some more permanent accommodation. So yeah, I think it's definitely got that feel. I mean, travelling in from Ormskirk, my hometown, being surrounded by friends and family, coming around the guys who all have not necessarily the same accent to me, but similar, and yeah, everything's feels good so far.
And as a white ball player, Michael, what kind of your strengths in that format?
Again, I would say similar. I'm someone who's diverse in that I've opened the batting a lot. Last year I found myself batting in like the sort of finisher role, I suppose you would say, for Durham. And so I suppose part of my strength was just being flexible in that, if we have the international lads available, Salty, etc., then I'm sure they will come in and they'll want to open the batting like they do for England. And where I might find myself sliding down the order and playing that sort of more middle order role. And when they're away, I suppose I have the ability to open the batting as well. So definitely, I think part of my strength was just being flexible. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with where my white ball game is at, really. So I think, touching on the winter again, some of the bulk of my winter will be around getting my red ball game where I want it to be, and then just sort of continuing on really in my white ball format stuff. trying to make myself better. But ultimately, it's going to be a Red Bull focused winter, I suppose, for me. Other than I do go away to ILT in January, so that'll be white ball focused, obviously. But before that and after that, it'll be about sort of cementing that down, really, getting that sorted where I want it to be.
Great to hear from Jonesy there. We wish him all the best in his first season here at Lancs. But it's time to shift focus onto the women's team now and take a look at the T20 fixtures ahead of their first season as a Tier 1 side. Well, Eve Jones rejoins Lancashire for the upcoming season. She also joins me in the studio here today. Eve, we just had a look at the fixtures. Any in there you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think our local rival this year will be Durham, so obviously that's going to be a big fixture for us, so looking forward to that one.
And it's straight into it. It's a very quick start with a quick turnaround, 2 games in 2 days.
Yeah, I think having the double header here on the Saturday against the Blaze will be a big fixture for us. Obviously they were a good side last year, and then straight up to Durham the next day for a fixture up there. So that'll be a big weekend, but hopefully we can start the competition well.
And when fixtures are released, do you feel a boost around the team? Can people really start and set goals for different fixtures or different games? Because I can imagine early in pre-season there's probably a lot of fitness, there's a lot of work going on. Can you really look forward to it and set certain goals?
Yeah, obviously it's exciting when you get the fixtures out. You look about who you're going to play and when. So I think obviously it seems quite a fair way off. But yeah, we'll always be looking at the fixtures, looking at our local rivals as well when we're playing them. So yeah, exciting day.
Now, you mentioned Durham, but from a personal perspective, are there any teams or maybe stadiums that you enjoy going to where you maybe score more runs than others? Are there any that you really look forward to playing against?
I think personally I'll probably look forward to the Edgbaston one against Warwickshire. So obviously coming from Sparks the last 5 years, we've got some friends down there, and I like playing at Edgbaston. So I'll be looking out for that one as well.
Well, hopefully we can speak after that game, after you've scored loads of runs. But we have 4 double headers here at Emirates Old Trafford. How excited are you to play out on the pitch out there and also share it with the men's team on what I'd imagine is going to be 4 very special days?
Yeah, I think the double headers are great for the women's game. We obviously get to play in front of a crowd that's probably a little bit more than what we're used to. And to play here at Emirates Old Trafford as well. It's a great stadium. So hopefully we can play some good cricket, entertain a good crowd.
Well, also congratulations for re-signing for Lancashire on a 3-year deal. How does it feel to be back here at Emirates Old Trafford? Have you been welcomed back nicely by the team?
Yeah, it's been great. We've only been in 2-3 weeks now, but loved every single minute of it. It's been great to be back with the girls and sort of get stuck into the environment, get stuck into training again. So yeah, it's been good.
I can imagine. You had an amazing summer last year, especially in the Rachel Hey-Ho Flint Trophy. I've got 540 runs in 13 innings with an average of 49, striking 3 half-centuries with a best of 136 not out. Now, is that good form or is that just what Eve Jones does?
I'd like to say that's what Eve Jones does, but obviously we put a lot of work into our game, and yeah, I think I just want to try and be as consistent as I can and score as many runs as I can and help the team. So yeah, hopefully I can sort of replicate that next year when I'm back here at Lancashire, and hopefully win some trophies with the girls.
And if we take it back a few years, you were here in 2017 to 2019. You won the county championship and the T20 Cup in your first season. How do you reflect on those memories?
Yeah, there's some special memories. Obviously, to do the double was like a real high of our careers. So hopefully we can sort of do that next year. We've got three tournaments to play in. So hopefully we can bring some silverware back to Old Trafford again.
Absolutely. Well, Eve, thank you very much for joining us. I wish you all the best. But now we can also hear from our skipper, Ellie Threlkeld, caught up with Lancs TV earlier this week.
winter now, pre-season now, kind of all thoughts on next year. I mean, it's the tier one, isn't it? I guess there's a bit of a freshness about the whole of women's domestic cricket because of that. How excited are you?
Yeah, really excited. Back to reality in the cold English weather. But yeah, first week under our belts, and yeah, it's going really well. I had fitness testing this week, and girls have put a real shift in, and yeah, we've got a great group. Signed a couple of players as well, which is really exciting. And yeah, really looking forward to the season already. It feels like it's quite far away now, but it always flies round, and yeah, looking forward to a sort of good block of training ahead of the new season.
I know you signed 3 players, but in particular with Eve and with Grace. What will they add? They've obviously played quite a bit of domestic cricket, Eve in particular. What will they bring to your squad?
I think they'll bring a lot, to be honest. I think both on and off the field, they're both brilliant cricketers, and have showed that in the last few years in the domestic game. I've known Eve Jones a long time. She started a cricket career here at Lancashire, one of my good mates, and played with both of them in the 100 as well. So yeah, know what they're about, really impressed. And like I said, great people as well, and have added a lot to the group already. And yeah, it's been nice to have them around and getting stuck in, and yeah, hopefully they can put some big performances in.
She's obviously done a lot of captaincy as well, hasn't she, Eve? Will that help you as well, having her out there to kind of bounce ideas off?
Yeah, definitely. I think she played a couple of games for us back end of last season, and to sort of have her on the field made a huge difference. I think, like you said, she's played loads of games, played a lot of cricket, captained a lot as well. Senior head to have around the group as well, and yeah, she's definitely brought that experience and definitely lent on her. And then last few games last season, and yeah, like I said, good friend of mine. So hopefully we can make a bit of a good team, and yeah, really excited for the season to kick off.
Great to hear from the skipper, Ellie Threlkeld, there ahead of a very exciting season. And thank you very much for joining us for the T20 fixture release show. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the fixtures that will be announced next week, including the County Championship and the Metro Bank One Day Cup. And we'll see you very soon.